Welcome to the Dollop. I, Dave Anthony, tell a story from American history each week to my friend
Gareth Reynolds, who knows nothing about it.
God, you want to hit a dude?
I'll do one bump.
People say this is funny.
Not Gary Gareth.
Dave, okay.
Someone or something is tickling people.
Is it for fun?
And this is not going to become the Tickling Podcast.
Okay.
You are Queen Fakey of Made Up Town.
All hail Queen Shit of Liesville.
A bunch of religious virgins go to mingle
And do what?
pray.
Hi, Gary.
No.
Nicely done, my friend.
Is that bad this week? This week a bad one to not know?
It's a great one.
Okay.
We're doing LAPD month in December.
Right.
All four of the big dollops will be LAPD dollops. The smallops won't be.
Yeah.
But it's LAPD month. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, and I think it's great that all the proceeds are going to go to the LAPD. I think that's a nice way of doing it. Give back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to put it into the racism fund.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just it's about expanding racism in the Los Angeles police.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't think it was, counter.
We're going to go back to the origins of police in Los Angeles, where it all began.
How cops started in L.A.
The California Gold Rush began in 1848 when gold was found at Sutter's Mill in Coloma, California. 300,000 people rushed into the state.
Jesus.
So that's a lot of fucking dudes.
Yeah.
These are mostly men looking for a quick buck, like douchebags who didn't want an honest day's work. Like,
Definitely douchebags.
It's like if someone started a lottery in one state and there were no other lotteries and everybody moved to that state to join the lottery.
Think about entertainment. It's a little like that.
So it's those kind of people.
Right.
And there was a lot of lawlessness in the state.
I'm sure.
Crime shot through the roof. As boomtowns started appearing in the 1850s, vigilantes started putting justice in their hands because no forms of government were established.
Okay.
These people would assault, accuse thieves, rapists, and murderers. Vigilante groups became especially popular in San Francisco, where criminals preyed upon the citizenry with impunity.
Okay.
That'll actually be a dollop at some point.
Okay.
So they really did some shit in San Francisco.
What, a vigilante police force? I'm shocked.
There were committees, vigilante committees. Things became even worse in Los Angeles and the surrounding counties in the early 1850s as many of the criminals driven out of San Francisco and the gold country came to the less populated Southern California, making the city and surrounding countryside a dangerous place for many years.
Good. Mm-hmm. Sounds good so far.
The first specific Los Angeles police force was founded in 1853 as the Los Angeles Rangers.
Okay.
A volunteer force that assisted the existing county forces. So there were county cops, but no city cops.
Right.
And they created the Los Angeles Rangers. Now, they didn't work out, and the Rangers were soon succeeded by the Los Angeles City Guards.
Okay.
Another volunteer group.
Uh-huh.
Neither force was particularly efficient, and Los Angeles became known for its violence, gambling, and vice.
Okay.
Vigilante groups took to the streets in Los Angeles. City Councilman Felix Signoret led the lynching of a Frenchman named Lanchenet, who was suspected of killing his neighbor, Jacob Bell. A meeting at Stearns Hall was largely attended. A vigilante committee was formed. Lanchenet's record was reviewed, and his death at the hands of an outraged committee was decided upon.
Jesus.
Everything being arranged, 300 or more armed men under the leadership of Felix Signoret, assembled on the morning of December 17th, marched to the jail, overcame Sheriff Burns and his assistants, took Lanchenet out, dragged him to the corner of Temple and New High Streets. Is there a New High Street still?
I don't think so.
I haven't heard of it.
No.
And summarily hanged him. The following January, County Judge Y. Sepulveda, he got a street named after him.
A big one.
Yeah. Charged the grand jury to do its duty toward ferreting out the leaders of the mob and so wipe out this reproach to the city. But the grand jury expressed the conviction that if law had hitherto been faithfully executed in Los Angeles, such scenes in broad daylight would never have taken place. So the jury was like, well, look, if he had been tried and convicted, then we wouldn't have to do it.
Right.
And then the counter argument is well, you broke him out of a jail.
Yeah. There's a good argument there. I
mean, the process was taking place.
Yeah. His taste of freedom was real sweet, too. He's like, it's so nice to be back on the street. Come on down!
Breathe.
Breathe.
That's what they
I
yell.
hope he was going to say breathe. Because if he was just talking about cheese, that's a crazy way to go. What was his last words? Brie.
He yelled
He
breathe.
shouted brie.
I like it soft cheese.
You can eat the Daca belly.
So not only did the grand jury fail to indict anyone, but the lynchmen also boldly published a rebuke to the authorities in an editorial. Hold on. Dog, stop. Sometimes the dog wants to get on in the action.
That's understandable.
So this is what the guys who did the lynching wrote.
Okay.
They wrote this they wrote a fucking editorial
Oh, cool.
in the Los Angeles Star.
Cool.
It is to be hoped that the hint given by the people yesterday will be sufficient ammunition to cause the weak arm of the law to recover its former strength and render it unnecessary for the people for whom all the power of the law proceeds to ever again retake the law into their own hands. So
A hint.
So even though he got broken out of jail,
Yeah.
they're saying that the law should have done its job.
Yeah.
And that what they did was hopefully make the law do their job.
Right. So they while he was in jail for a crime he committed,
Yeah.
they weren't happy enough, and they... Right. Okay.
So people are morons.
Yeah, and they sound like they're good people.
They do sound like good people.
Yeah.
Good people, Los
The
Angeles.
kind of people you want founding. Because I feel like these are people we're going to be following for a minute.
The fact that Los Angeles lynchmen included influential citizens was shown by the access they were given to one of the city's finest and newest structures, Teutonia Hall, in which to deliberate Lanchenet's fate. Afterward, they marched through downtown in the light of day before dragging him to his fate. So they just did it in the middle of the fucking day.
Well, I mean, you want to be home before dark.
As of 1971, no lynchers had ever been prosecuted in Los Angeles.
Okay. 1971?
Not one lyncher.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. It must be 1870.
Okay.
I must have done that wrong.
Okay.
I do that wrong a lot because I'm so used to writing 19.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, I did it for a lot of my life.
Well, it's like you said, Columbus discovered America in 1942.
The first paid police force was created in 1869
Okay.
when 6 officers were hired to serve under City Marshal William C. Warren.
All right.
So here we go.
This is the start.
It's the beginning of the LAPD. I mean, it isn't officially called the LAPD for like 40 years, but
But this is it.
they were the original seeds of what was years later to become the Los Angeles Police Department. But these 6 men were not the most honest lawmen who ever walked the streets.
Oh, boy.
Our story will focus on an alley in Los Angeles known as Negro's Alley.
Oh, Jesus.
A fine name.
Yeah, a lovely name.
Is that not a good name?
No, I think it's not a good name. Yeah.
It was a narrow lane fronted by crumbling adobes left over from the city's early days. Named for the dark-skinned Spaniards who owned property there, Negro Alley for 2 decades had been the most dangerous piece of topography in the United States. Its gambling houses and flesh markets were home to gamblers, quick-draw artists, men like the princely Jack Powers, the bloodthirsty Cherokee Bob, and the notorious man-killer Crooked Nose Smith.
Crooked Nose Smith?
That's a great name.
Jesus.
But don't you love that with the thinking would be that New York is the fucking
Right.
but this alley is the worst place in the United States.
I'll be honest, it sounds like a place you'd probably want to go to just for a stretch.
Little visit?
Little visit.
Yeah.
Go talk to Crooked Nose Smith.
Hey, Crookie!
Hey!
Of 44 homicides that occurred in Los Angeles in a 15-month period, the highest murder rate that had ever been recorded in the U.S., a good portion took place in the alley. The Chinese were already objects of both fear and revulsion in Los Angeles.
Cool. That's cool. Nice.
Fear because they would work long hours for a pittance, and revulsion because their religion and culture were alien.
Oh, my God. We're scared that they work too hard. We're disgusted by their thoughts. They're different. Therefore awful.
Oh, they're so fucking different.
They're awful.
Popular books at the time suggested that the Chinese streaming into California by the thousands to search for gold eventually would take over California and elect a silk-clad Mandarin as governor.
Okay, so it was grounded in reality. Their
Not
fear.
very different than today.
No, really
honestly.
not. The difference is now that they actually do own all the property. They are buying it all.
Hatred was so strong that during the Civil War, California's legislature passed a law that forbade any Chinese from testifying against a white man.
Oh, cool. So really, they just legalized white on Asian crime.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you can't testify,
Were there any witnesses? Just the Asian man. Well, that's not going to work for us.
just the guy stabbed who's Asian.
Just the guy who was stabbed 9 times. It was him.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Come on now.
So this was an invitation to violence.
Yes.
For the white man.
I would say that's definitely what that was.
Hey, can we make a law that'll just allow white people to kill Chinese people?
Yes. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
The economy was on decline with the end of the Civil War. There was social dislocation. Blacks were moving in. The Chinese were very successful. All these things caused resentment.
That's a white man's nightmare.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah.
On the day of October 24th, 1871, tensions had been building toward violence among Chinese factions in Negro Alley for several days.
This is a normal
Just a
sentence.
wait till you hear what I get to later.
Oh, boy.
And tensions between Chinese and Angelenos also were on the rise, as were tensions between the Chinese gangs. The cause of the tensions was the kidnapping by a Chinese company of a woman belonging to a rival Chinese company.
Okay.
The companies were a kind of gang that offered support and structure to the Chinese in America. The kidnapped woman was a gorgeous woman named Yut Ho. It's close to...
Yes.
It's super close to being Yet Ho.
Yeah.
It's not a great name.
No. Because I'm sure in this time, like, a white guy could just be like, I misunderstood. I thought I could just take her because her name was Ho. Oh, not guilty. Not guilty.
She was also a married woman who was kidnapped by a company to be sold into marriage.
What?
Yeah, it's all fucked up. So the kidnapping company was
The
led...
kidnapping company.
The one that kidnapped her was led by a man named Ho Ying, who was tight with the white power structure in Los Angeles.
Okay.
One businessman who knew him better than most called him a gutter-sniped Talleyrand.
Oh, well, how dare... What does it
that's
mean?
bad. I know a gutter snipe is bad because it's
Gutter snipe sounds terrible.
It's a fish that lives in the gutter.
Oh, a gutter snipe is a fish that
Well,
lives in the
isn't
gutter?
a snipe a kind of fish?
Yeah, a snipe is a fish.
And so a gutter snipe
is a,
would be a snipe that lives in the... I don't know what a Talleyrand is, though.
it just you don't even need to know. You can just tell how it would be called. It would be like, you gutter snipe and Talleyrand, get out of here! Like, it's not good.
No, I liked it.
You like it? You just like that?
Yeah, I don't
You're
know.
being such a Talleyrand.
No, I'm not,
Stop it, you Talleyrand!
I'm not feeling anything.
You're such a tally. Gutter snipe!
Oh, I didn't like that. The woman was kidnapped from a company led by a shopkeeper named Sam Wynn. Sam Wynn.
Okay.
Yuen?
Yeah. How's it spelled?
Y-U-E-N. Yuen.
Sure.
All right. Yuen brought down several hitmen from San Francisco
Okay.
to get her back. One of who was her brother, Choi.
I like
Choi be coming.
this.
Choi is coming. I tried to look up Talleyrand, but it's just all restaurants. Named Talleyrand.
Hilarious. That's what he was. Yeah. You restaurant! Get out of here, you restaurant! Fine dining establishment.
As soon as Choi got off a steamship in San Pedro, he went right to Negro Alley and found Yo Hing. This was October 23rd. He fired several shots at Hing. Hing wasn't injured, and he filed charges. Choi was arrested.
Okay.
Hing had Choi's bail set at an insane amount for the time.
What?
$2,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
for
fuck yeah.
Yen rolled in to post bail, and Hing's attorney was stunned. He couldn't believe a Chinese guy would have that much cash. A policeman went with Yen to his shop where he saw the bail money and a lot more hidden in a trunk.
Okay. Wait, so Choi's bail is set at $2,000.
Yeah. So
And
Guy who hired him,
Yeah.
comes down and says, I can pay the bail. And they go, okay, where's the money?
then he's
And
right.
then him and a cop go back to his place, his shop, and he opens up a trunk with all the fucking money in it.
Okay.
He takes that $2,000, and the cop goes, look at all that money.
Hey, you know what I always loved? Money.
Money's good.
Money's fun.
Now the rumors started in one of the most lawless places in the country. Throughout the city's endless drinking establishment, word was out. And there were a lot of drinking establishments. Of the Los Angeles's 285 business, 110 served liquor. Jesus Christ.
Great.
So now they're all talking about how this Chinese guy is.
He's got all this money. Cool.
Now, it was well known that the Chinese company paid off police for favors.
Mm-hmm.
As Singh said about LA law enforcement, according to a newspaper account at a later court hearing, and this is quote from the paper.
Oh, God. This is not good.
Police likey money.
Oh, my God.
That was printed in the paper.
Police likey
money.
God, it would be great to live in a time where you could see that on a newspaper and it's insinuating
What
racism.
if it's just like a scroll on the bottom of a CNN thing?
right.
Police likey money.
Yes, I'm coming right now from Times Square where the update is strong. Police likey money. Police likey money. Okay. Sure.
Well, the chief favor rendered by police was the retrieval of escaped Chinese prostitutes.
Okay.
The women were little more than slaves to the companies, yet whenever a prostitute tried to escape, all her owner had to do was go to court and swear out a warrant accusing her of theft. Then, knowing they would earn a nice reward, the police would track the woman to Santa Barbara, San Diego, or elsewhere and bring her back to the Chinese gang. While the police were off hunting prostitutes, they left the city completely unguarded.
Cool.
So it's a terrible police force.
Yeah, sounds really horrible. They're just making sure the whores go back to the whorehouse.
Right.
Cool.
The system of payoffs led to police officers being openly allied with one Chinese company or another. One police officer at the time was a man named Jesus Bilderrain.
Like that name.
Bilderrain had a reputation for dishonesty and larceny.
Okay.
Several court cases were filed against him in the years before and after October 1871, accusing him of stealing valuable roosters for use in his cockfighting operations.
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
love that that's his,
That's
I
what
love
he
that's his
did.
big crime.
Yeah.
So
He's rooster stealing.
Instead of like how hard is it to breed some roosters? Instead
Yeah.
of fucking breeding roosters, he's just
Well,
going and
listen,
taking them.
he just wants to start with winners. I think
Yeah,
that's
that-
respectable. He's just finding like the craziest hen and taking it.
Then he goes and fights them.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Quite a life.
The law's here. Give me your rooster. Along with his brother Ignacio, Bilderrain was a gambler. For years, he and his brother controlled and manipulated the Latino voting bloc in Los Angeles on behalf of Democratic candidates. On election day, it was a common sight to see Jesus Bilderrain in a white duster stuffing bills into voters' pockets in downtown Los Angeles.
It's just very public with the like. It just sounds like there's no. I mean, you can't at least do it a block away, maybe.
It feels very uncop-like.
Yeah, very uncoppish.
With that being the background, according to Officer Bilderrain, he was having a drink at Higby's Saloon on the night of October 24th, 1871.
Okay.
When he heard gunfire.
Uh-oh.
He jumped on his horse and galloped for Negro's Alley.
Right.
That's just a great sentence.
Yeah.
He said he found Choi lying on the ground with a gunshot to his neck. He then chased a group of Chinese men into the Coronel building, where Yuen's shop was,
Okay.
where the money happened to be.
Yeah.
Bilderrain said he charged in and was shot. He then blew his whistle to sound the alarm. That's when a man named Robert Thompson responded. He put his gun into the door and fired. Then he opened the door and was shot in the chest.
Oh, Jesus.
He said, "I am killed," and collapsed into the street.
Oh, that is a good set of last words, though. That's
love how he's-
better than Brie.
I love that he's already using the past tense.
Yeah, no, he's dead. That's what I mean. It's so like, I like it's about to be true, but it's your last thought and not true yet. I've been killed.
He died an hour later. Then, according to Bilderrain, a mob of 500 swarmed into the alley to lay siege. 500 was 10% of the population of Los Angeles.
500 people ran out to just get pissed.
Yeah.
Okay.
One big problem with this story is that Thompson wasn't a cop. He was a saloon owner of one of the most notorious scary saloons in town, the Blue Wing. Of course, with vigilantes all the rage, it's possible that he came to help out. Mm-hmm. To believe Bill Lorraine's story, you'd also have to ignore the fact that he wasn't on the take, that all the cops weren't in the pockets of the Chinese companies, and that everyone in town wasn't talking about how much money Yuan had in the building.
Mm-hmm. Also, that's a lot to ignore.
Also, Bill Lorraine's story kept changing.
Oh, good.
According to his own account, after he saw Choi wounded in the street, he chased Yuan's gang into the Coronel building. But that didn't make any sense because Choi was working for Yuan.
Okay.
He was his hitman.
Yeah.
He also insisted that he had seen Yuan shoot bar owner Robert Thompson, which was amazing because Bill Loren was lying wounded in the street when Thompson was shot by someone in the dark interior of the building.
Okay. Some alibi stuff, sure. Little alibi shit, whatever.
The most probable explanation is that Bill Lorraine was working for the kidnapper Hing.
Okay. Right.
Over the next couple of months, Bill Lorraine kept changing his account of what he saw that night, sometimes naming Yuan and sometimes not. Eventually, he ended up testifying for Yuan, saying he had never seen him on that night.
All right. Consistent. Very consistent. That's nice.
Okay, I got paid again. I'm going to switch it up.
No, now he wasn't there. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but not anymore. He wasn't there.
And I didn't get shot.
I didn't get shot either. No.
None of that happened.
None of that happened. Can I go?
I wasn't there. I'm not a cop.
What are you going to do? Bring a Chinese guy up here?
Bring it. What's he going to do? Testify? White man. What actually happened was Bill Lorraine went to Negro Alley that night to rob Yuan. Horace Bell, an early chronicler of Los Angeles, wrote that Bill Lorraine and Thompson went to Yuan's store that afternoon for no other purpose than to steal his gold.
Cool. In
the days after, Yuan said his men opened fire on Bill Lorraine because he came for the gold in the company of Hing, his enemy.
Uh-huh.
So what happened after Thompson and Bill Lorraine were shot? The mob came. At first, the mob was held at bay by gunfire coming from inside the Coronel. LA's top cop was Marshal Francis Baker.
Okay.
Baker arrived at the scene just as Thompson was shot. He deputized an ad hoc collection of men to surround the Coronel building. He said he wanted to prevent the escape of those involved in the shooting. But recruiting guards from a mob was a questionable decision.
Certainly.
Baker's next decision was even weirder. With gunfire ringing out behind him, he went home to bed.
Oh, wait. What? He's probably not very clear with his plan.
Well, he's the chief. He's the top cop.
Let's surround him. I'm going to go to bed.
Everybody. Let's get there. All right, I'm going to go to sleep.
I'll tell you what, this surrounding has really taken it out of me. I am gonna... All right, there's a lot of gunfire. God, am I the only one who's got a case of the yawns?
I'm so tired.
I can't stop yawning.
I get tired with this Asian killing.
Well, good luck with all that, guys. I'm gonna probably turn in.
Cop goes sleepy.
Cop goes sleepy.
As he did, some members of the mob climbed onto the roof and used axes to hack holes in the roof. Then they sprayed shotgun and rifle fire down into the rooms below. By the time the mob had battered open a second door with a large rock, the Chinese had given up.
Okay.
Police did little, as was evidenced by the actions of two officers, but probably the most experienced, Emil Harris and George Guard. Both had proved their bravery during the Mexican Bandit Wars.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is, but that sounds awesome.
That sounds like a good war.
I mean, wars.
Yeah.
With bandits.
Yeah. It's almost like a vigilante police
I'll have
force.
to look that one up.
Yeah, bandit wars. Holy shit.
Harris helped capture the dashing Tiburcio Vasquez, and the Star said he and Guard were hard to beat on either a warm or cold trail.
Okay.
They were the shit.
Yeah.
No stopping these guys. Badass motherfuckers.
I think there's something that'll stop them.
While the mob went crazy, Harris and Guard just hung out near Hay Scales at the corner of Los Angeles and Arcadia Streets a half block away.
Yeah, we should go there and do it from there.
Harris did grab one fleeing Chinese man, but when he was surrounded, he just gave the man up.
Okay.
All right, you want this one?
Oh, sure. I don't need him.
I was going to keep this one.
That's okay. You can take him.
Take him, guys.
Take him.
Have a
Seems
good
like you
time.
guys really want him.
Do whatever you want. You guys going to play ball?
You guys play ball?
Harris just returned to his post, later saying he was unaware that any Chinese people had been harmed.
Okay. Sure.
Some argued that no one would expect a small, poorly trained police force to stand up to an armed mob of hundreds. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a good argument.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But the argument that the police were powerless that night was put to the lie by Robert Whitney, a badass former schoolteacher who was a vigilante in his own right. He was known to sidle up to a mobster, yank him by the collar, shove the barrel of his pistol into the man's throat, and whisper, "Get out or I'll kill you."
Oh, God.
Come on.
You get out.
That's fucking awesome.
You get out when that happens.
Yeah.
I'll go. I'll go. I'll leave.
Whitney managed to save 5 Chinese people that night.
Okay.
Police saved none.
Yeah.
So the idea that you couldn't save any...
There's not a great faith in the police.
No.
Yeah.
It's more likely that police were compromised by their secret deals with Chinese companies and accustomed to letting vigilantes do their deeds. So they just stood aside and let the mob do its work.
That's cool. I'm glad things are so different. It's good that things have changed so much for the better.
LAPD started well.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I like that, like, when you put you put laws in place for a reason, and it almost makes things worse because of how people will just skirt them.
Totally.
So it's like, now, like, okay, now the system's fucked. Cool.
All right, there
Perfect.
it is.
Done. Probably going to go home and go to bed. I am exhausted.
I'm so tired.
All this gunfire,
the
racism,
shooting makes
the
me
gold.
tired.
I'm just pooped.
You know what a mob does? It makes me want to go sleepy.
Oh, God.
Under the gaslight street lamps, the Chinese were dragged to hastily erected gallows downtown. Bodies were soon swinging from 2 upturned wagons on Commercial Street, as well as the crossbar on the Tomlinson Corral, a popular lynching spot that had been used to string up the Frenchman Le Chenet.
Popular lynching spot.
You gotta have a popular lynching spot.
Oh, don't go there.
Oh, you know what's really good? Have you tried the crossbar on Tomlinson Corral?
I kind of like divey lynching
What?
areas. Yeah, like a place with, like,
Oh, no.
not so many people. You can
But what
sit
about
down and talk.
What about the lights?
I like it. I like the big show.
But what you're not seeing is the pageantry.
No, I get that. Look, I get all that, and I like going to that lynching area. I'm just saying there is, like, my local lynching area is kind of my
It
favorite.
just seems so drab.
It is drab, but look, we're different.
I like to see like the swinging body and behind them the shadow.
Yeah, see, I like to be with, like, a friend I haven't seen in a while, and we can kind of catch up while the body
so like
swings.
like an intimate thing.
Yeah, totally intimate.
Oh,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Now I like a big crowd. I like a show. I like a.
Yeah, I've just never been
know?
that person. I don't know. Different lynches for different
I guess
bitches.
I guess so.
Yeah.
The
Good talk, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The mob also used the porch of John Guller's wagon shop at Los Angeles and Commercial, a block from the south entrance to the alley.
Okay.
Guller was a former respected city councilman, husband, and dutiful father. He objected bitterly as the Chinese were hoisted outside his windows. "There are small children inside," he protested.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Word. Now there's small men in there.
"You dry up, you son of a bitch," growled the man as he leveled a rifle at Guller.
Jesus. Wow.
People were fucking awesome. They were just awesome. I don't want my kids to see this.
Shut the fuck up or they'll watch you die.
Just fucking amazing.
Now let us hang these Chinese people outside. Okay? Or are you going to
What?
still be weird about it?
You don't like decorations?
Oh, my God. Your kids sound like pussies.
I'm raising a big baby. My name's Guller. My kids are all gonna be pussies.
So then you have basically 2 minutes to just kind of prep the kids. Okay, guys, so real quick.
Okay, so here's what's going on. There's been a lot of social and economic problems with the. Oh boy.
You're gonna.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to tell you. You're gonna see some bodies swing, guys.
Maybe I should have started off with the economic thing.
Sorry. There's about to be dead Asians hanging outside of here.
Okay, so the quickest thing I can say is do people know likey Chinese?
Okay? People likey money. People know likey Chinese. Police likey money.
As the Chinese were hauled up, a man on the porch roof danced a jig.
Normal. Just the normal capper. I just picture it like a big musical, and at the end you just pan out and you need to see the guy jigging.
This guy's like a hack. He's like dancing a jig. He's probably got like a
Yeah.
gallon bottle with
Yeah.
it. He's like that guy straight out of a cartoon.
It's like, Tom, it's not time to jig. Well, I jig about anything. I'll jig about whatever happens.
My name's Jimmy Jig. What you talking about?
We're hanging up the Chinese. It's time for one of my classic Jimmy jigs.
Yesterday I was jigging for pie.
This morning I just jigged to get up. I'm a jigging just a jig. I'm jigging because I'm so excited about my last jig.
Somebody shoot the jigger.
And no, I got a shooting jig. You want to see a shooting jig? Oh, you got it, boy. There's gold up in them mountains, I tell you. Gold.
He says a lot.
Should stick to jigging.
The man dancing the jig gave voice to the resentment many Americans felt about the Chinese working low wages.
We're putting a little much on him.
Come on, boys, patronize home trade, the man sang out.
What? Wait, one more time. Come on, boys.
Come on, boys, patronize home trade.
Come on, guys. Bitch, he's jigging on a roof above a bunch of hanging humans with a message.
Yeah, about international trade relations.
Now's the time for the trade talks. Get into it, jig man. Come on, boys.
Come on, boys, let's get an embargo on wheat.
Let's talk about the gross national product. Woo! Come on, boys.
Stop GMOs. The bloodlust was
Fucking
not...
Obamacare. Woo! The jig guy's great.
Suck my dick, congressional budget organization.
You know, the jig guy's he's reaching a little. I don't know if you've heard some of the latest jigs. Little out there.
Screw you, Environmental Protection Agency.
Come on, this jig's for employees of American Airlines who have been getting unfair wages. Let's go. Woo! I'm worried about the erosion of the middle class. Jiggy the Jigman.
Oh, fuck. This one's for NAFTA. What's that sucking sound? That's jobs.
There's nobody around him anymore.
It's fucking 4 a.m.
He's
and
just,
everyone's gone.
everyone's gone. He's just jigged for 3 days straight. He wakes up. He's like, man, I just jigged so long.
Oh, fuck. I am so embarrassed.
Went on a jig bender.
Oh, Jesus.
Wife's leaving me.
Larry, did I jig last night?
Yo, yeah. You don't remember fucking jigging?
No.
All you did was fucking jig. It was mortifying.
I was really drunk.
I was hammered.
How long did I jig?
You jigged for about 5 hours.
Did I say anything?
Yeah, you tried to talked about the Constitution. You wanted to secede. There was a lot going on with your jigs. Yeah, you wanted to create Jigland.
Jesus, I didn't talk about Atlantis, did I?
Yes, you did. You talked about Atlantis. That's mainly what you talked about.
Fuck. Oh, God, I gotta stop drinking.
Jigging. You gotta stop jigging.
I don't know. I feel like I drink and then I jig.
I jig to drink.
Oh, wait. My feet are moving.
Oh, God. No.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no.
Here we go. Stop Walmart.
Jigging to heaven after he dies.
The bloodlust was not only in the men. A woman who ran a boarding house across the street from Gawler's shop volunteered clothesline to be cut up for the nooses. Hang them! She screamed.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
A boy came running from a dry goods shop. Here's rope, he called helpfully.
God, a boy. A boy. Here's rope to hang them.
But it wasn't just the rabble of Los Angeles having a good time. It was also the city's elite. Some of Los Angeles' leading citizens were cheering on the killers.
Good.
Among them was H.M. Mitchell, a reporter for The Star. A future leader for the Democratic Party, Mitchell would serve a term as sheriff before marrying into the wealthy Glassell family.
Oh, wow.
How about that?
All right.
So if people don't know, Glassell Park is a huge area of the city over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
The Glassell family. He married into a family that has a fucking portion of Los Angeles named after it.
Okay.
And he became a gentleman follower and collector of Western antiquities.
Cool. That's what happens when you get a lot of money fast.
A member of the crowd heard Mitchell yelling, "Hang him!"
Oh, God.
I mean, also, people have already yelled that.
Yeah.
How about something else? String him up or anything.
Yeah.
They're all just yelling, "Hang him."
Yeah.
And get a rope like it's a Picante salsa commercial.
New York City. Yeah, that's great. And I like, people are like, saying creative things, and at the end you come in with "hang 'em." It's real good, really nice capper to it all.
Where's that jig guy? This is
String
getting a
him
little
up.
stale.
Oh, Jiggy, his legs don't work. You didn't hear?
Oh no.
Yeah, he can't jig anymore.
Oh my God.
Doctor says he about 2 weeks to jig.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
The jig's up.
The jig is up.
Sorry. I apologize to everyone listening. Harris Newmark, one of the most respected members of the business community, heard a shot as he left work. Walking over to Los Angeles Street, he learned that Thompson had been killed. Newmark said he went home to supper expecting no further trouble.
Oh, cool. Get a meal in. Get a meal real quick. Sure.
I suppose being a leader, I go over and talk to these people, or I'm hungry.
It's taco night.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, he's got to go home for Taco Tuesday.
Of all the Chinese in Los Angeles, Dr. Jean Tong was probably the most eminent and beloved among both his countrymen and Americans.
Okay.
He could have made much more money opening an office in the American part of town, but Tong stayed in the alley, dispensing both traditional and modern medicine from a small shop in the Coronel building.
Okay.
So that's nice.
It is nice, but I have a feeling it's about to sour.
But some of them are treated well and respected by whites and everybody else.
Yeah.
So that's great.
That's great, Dave. Yeah, that's great. We deserve a medal.
As he was dragged along the street, he tried to... What?
What the fuck?
As he was dragged
along the street? The fuck did he do? He's giving medicine.
He was there. He's Asian. He's Chinese. He was there.
Okay, sorry. As he was being dragged
dragged along the street, he tried to strike a bargain with his captors. He could pay, he said. He had $3,000 in gold in his shop. He had a diamond wedding ring. They could have it all. Instead, one of his captors shot him in the mouth to silence him. I mean, that'll do it. That will quiet a man.
Yeah. Shooting him in the mouth? It's kind of shooting him in the brain.
Some would punch a guy in the mouth.
Sure.
But if you really want to be...
Put a gag over a guy?
But if you really want to be sure, you shoot a guy in the mouth.
Shoot his mouth. Cool.
Then they hanged him.
Oh, just to be safe.
But not before they cut off his finger to steal the ring.
Is it so much work to remove a fucking ring? Could you just take a ring off?
It was on there really good.
Go get some butter, assholes.
Fat Chinese fingers.
He's probably very nervous and swelling from his fucking dragging.
I don't know. I mean, I would guess the Chinese people are dragged.
It's probably faster to just take it off.
I don't know.
All right. Anyway, so he's dead.
You make really bad points.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. Tong's dead. Next.
Harris and Guard eventually worked their way to Yuen's store, where they stood guard for much of the night. This was odd since the mob had already looted the store and Yuen's drunk. So after the mob came and they dragged out the Chinese guys and they looted the store, then two cops walked over
to be safe. Yeah.
Guard.
Hey, we better keep an eye on this place. Sounds like things got pretty shitty.
They probably had only one thing on their minds: reward. Both men were allied with Yuen. Just days before the riot, one newspaper reported they'd received nice presents from him. What kind of story is that in the paper?
Nice presents.
Two police officers received a nice present from Yuen.
No, it's just under police likey money.
Gold dragon.
Yeah.
They got golden dragons.
Police also likey presents.
The massacre finally was brought to an end by Sheriff James Burns, a colorful man known as Daddy to the gamblers and whores.
You do not want to be called Daddy by a whore. Not in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means he was fucking him and making him Daddy.
Oh, he was fucking him. Yeah.
And they were all calling him Daddy.
Yeah, Daddy.
Yeah, it's not.
Who's your daddy?
No, you are. We all call you Daddy.
That's right.
Okay, but just, you don't have to ask because we all do. We all call you.
Who's your daddy?
You are Sheriff Burns.
All right, Daddy out. Daddy's going to roll.
He asked for 25 volunteers from a crowd of onlookers. I like that there's a mob killing people, and then there's people watching the mob kill people.
Yeah, and then your idea of everything just seems to, all of a sudden, you're recruiting people who could be murderers. All right, who wants in? It sounds a little bit like when we went to Iraq, how we just handled it.
Soon Burns was hoisted onto the shoulders of the crowd and carried into the alleyway, and the mob faded into the night.
Great. Daddy's happy.
By 11 p.m., the booze was flowing at the bars as the mob celebrated. At J.H. Weldon's, a man with blood on his hands and his shirt bellied up to the bar and yelled, "Well, I'm satisfied now. I've killed 3 Chinamen."
Set
him up. He's satisfied.
Yes, I understand that he's satisfied, but it's okay. He's in this place, and saying that and looking like that is okay.
It's just a gentleman.
No.
covered in blood.
Yes.
His hands, his shirt, blood all over him.
Yes.
Who is screaming about killing
But
three
he's been
Chinamen.
very clear. He's murdered multiple times.
But he wants a drink.
And does he get it?
I'm sure he does.
Okay, because nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck. Just kill Chinese
Just a
people.
guy covered in blood looking for some
saying that
booze.
he's killing Chinese. Okay, cool. All right, just wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
The next morning, the citizens of Los Angeles filed past the town's jail to view the bodies of the dead laid out in double rows. There were 17.
rows. Jesus
there were
Christ.
17. It was the largest mass lynching in American history. When word of the massacre, which is impressive considering how many people the South lynched.
Yeah, no, way to go.
When word of the massacre reached the outside world, the reaction was universal horror.
Okay, good.
In the East, citizens asked what sorts of monsters had taken up residence on the West Coast. The Methodist Conference started raising funds for missionary work in Los Angeles.
Jesus.
Frontier apologists blamed the massacre on the, quote, dregs of California society, an assortment of thugs from mines of the north and lawless Mexican territory to the south. American hoodlum and Mexican greaser, Irish tramp, and French communists all joined to murder and dispatch the foe, wrote poet and historian A.J. Wilson. I mean, neglecting the fact that it was also city councilmen and the cops and everyone else.
No. Yeah, it's not. It's you should be more alarmed, but that's fine as long as they're alarmed. We'll take it.
The mood of the city, from top to bottom, was that it had been time for the Chinese to learn their lesson.
Oh, good. Yeah, you got to teach them.
Yeah, hey, we showed them.
Yep.
You know
all those
what?
dead guys probably learned a valuable lesson.
Coming over here and working cheap.
Yep.
With your own ideas.
I'll give you $3,000 in gold. Shoot the mouth. What?
As one survivor of the massacre said, according to news accounts. Okay, so again, this is a Chinese man who survived the massacre. So now we're going to have a newspaper quote what he said.
Jesus Christ. This is not going to be good.
When Melican mad getty mad, he damn fool. He kill a good Chinaman, Ali same bad Chinaman.
That is a quote?
Yep. Straight out of the paper.
It would
written in the Putin newspaper with extra ease.
It takes more time to do that.
I know. I think that at that time they had a typewriter with a double E key.
Any Chinese stories, like, type it on that one. You'll need the double E. You're going to need the double E. And here's some yellow out in case you make mistakes.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus Christ.
It was a public relations disaster for a town that was trying to attract a rail link that was wanted.
A rail link! You're not ready for a railway, motherfuckers. You're hanging people in front of children freely. You want public transportation, you earn it, fuckface.
Gareth has spoken. You are not ready for a rail link.
You are not railway ready.
Excuse me? You want a rail link after this?
No.
Pardon me, Los Angeles.
No. Fuck no. Who's going to feel comfortable building in this environment? You can't turn your back.
Ironically, most of the rails were built by Chinese.
I mean,
it's hard when you're killing them to get them to build.
Yeah.
But
I just realized the dead ones won't work.
He getty mad. Wow.
Unreal.
He killy good Chinaman.
He killy good Chinaman. I mean, in a paper.
In a newspaper.
News. Not a comic. News.
So they wanted the rail link to bring thousands of Anglos to Southern California and sweep away the last of the Mexicans. We're just a good
people.
country.
We get it. We know how to problem solve quickly.
We're a great country.
Yeah.
At the coroner's inquest, one witness after another, including police, were somehow unable to recognize any of the mob members. But then some people began to remember. A few merchants were named: a farmer, a silk grower, a butcher, a blacksmith, a saloon owner, and a carpenter. A constable named Richard Kieran was fingered as a man who shot at the Chinese. City Councilman George Fall was identified as having attacked Hing with a plank of wood.
Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
A plank of wood.
A plank of wood.
That-
A city councilman
Yeah.
was hitting a Chinese guy with a fucking 2x4.
And then him and Noah likey, huh? He's on record as saying in the newspaper, him a got a bigger board, and me and Noah likey it.
Jesus. The grand jury finally issued indictments accusing 24 men of murder.
Okay.
No prominent men, though. No cops. In a shocking turn of events, the most penniless defendants managed to hire one of the most distinguished and successful members of the bar to defend them.
Okay.
The legendary Edward J.C. Kewins.
Alrighty.
Los Angeles' first trial of the century began in March 1872. Picking the jury was hard, as one prospective juror after another was disqualified because he belonged to a vigilance committee.
That really, he's got to be like, this jury pool is not looking good.
Have you ever been part of a vigilante?
Yeah, I was and currently am.
Have you ever been part of a vigilante?
Yes.
What about you? Have you ever been?
Yeah.
What about back there?
Yeah.
Is anybody here not a vigilante?
Yeah. Oh, you said not?
Yeah.
No.
Presiding over the trial was Robert Whitney, the hero of the massacre.
Oh, good.
Right? Who acted to save the Chinese people when the police wouldn't.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he wasn't a member of the bar.
What?
He's acting as judge. He just happens to not be a lawyer or a
Perfect.
judge of
Well,
any
no.
kind.
Of course. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stick on that. No. Continue. It's fine. Just a judge who doesn't know.
He's the ex-school teacher.
Right. Cool. All right. Good.
First, a drifter named Crenshaw was convicted. Always start with the fucking drifter.
Crenshaw?
Right? Yeah. Well,
Crenshaw-
I don't think Crenshaw was named after the
No.
drifter.
I'm not even suggesting that, but that guy's gone. You know that's not going to go well.
He was not convicted of murder, but of manslaughter.
Okay.
Policeman Guard testified on his behalf, getting him off on the murder charge. Guard said that he went up to the roof and handed him a gun.
Uh-huh.
And at the end of the night, he went back and got the gun, and all the bullets were in the gun.
Okay, so magic, I guess, or what are we? What he just willed it.
The trials of the next 9 defendants were combined. 7 of the 9 were convicted of manslaughter. Whitney gave them sentences ranging from 2 to 6 years. Take that!
2 years.
Now you know not to form a mob and lynch
What?
people.
And it's just okay to call it's just manslaughter just because it's Chinese people, right? I mean, that's why.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I
okay.
believe so.
I wonder if anyone was like, why?
It seems a lot like murder.
What's the difference? Because it sounds a lot like they murdered him.
Accidentally hung them.
Okay.
I mean, they were at fault, but it was an accident.
Right. They accidentally hung rope, suspended rope. And
What they did was dangerous.
Sure.
Granted.
Oh, they played with fire, my friend.
And then they got kind of...
And 17 Chinese people got burned.
You read the description. They kind of hung 17 Chinese men.
Right.
Not they hung... They kind of hung them.
I think you're letting the Chinese people who are deceased get off a little easy on this one. They were pretty implicated in all this as well.
but
they
they-
couldn't have been hanged without this.
But 2 of them said they likey hangy.
No, that's right. I remember hearing that. I remember reading that in the paper that they were quoted as saying that. Good paper.
Then, just after the guilty boarded a ship for San Quentin, defense attorney Kewen filed papers with the Supreme Court of California, alleging that the convictions were improper because the district attorney committed a fatal legal error. Prosecutor Thom, who happened to be from the South,
Oh, sure, that's fine.
had correctly charged the defendants with murdering the beloved Dr. Tong.
Okay.
But Thom had failed to introduce evidence that Tong had been killed. Oops.
That seems pretty important.
It's what's known as technical error.
Yeah, just a little snafu.
Oh, did I forget to... oh, my God.
Slipped my mind.
I feel so weird right now.
Egg on my face, anyway.
I totally...
I spaced.
Damn it.
Well,
How could I have done that?
anyway,
Anyway, you guys have fun.
get out of here, you crazy
Go
kids.
on.
Get out of here.
Oh, well, I'll see you guys in Negro Alley. The convictions were all set aside.
Cool. Well,
Tom never attempted to retry the defendants.
of course not.
He also never brought to trial the majority of those accused by the grand jury.
Right.
So
Okay.
the grand jury accused tons of people.
Right.
He just did a few.
Yep.
And
And
then
then they basically
the
nothing.
guy hitting the guy with the board.
Yeah.
Free.
Yep.
Walking around.
Yep.
Councilman.
Yep. Leader.
Just like that, LA had disposed of its messy public relations problem.
Sure has. Yeah. Everything's
no one
fixed.
thought about it. Everyone's like, oh, they're innocent? Fair enough.
Done and done.
I was wrong about not letting them have a rail line. They should have a rail line.
and now.
Local newspapers did not even mention the lynching in their year-end analysis of the major events of the previous 12 months.
Jesus Christ.
What happened this year in Los Angeles?
This year in review.
Orchards planted down on Orange Street. Anything in October? Not that I can recall besides Halloween.
November. Moving
yes,
on.
great month.
Great month.
Within 5 years, the arrival of the Transcontinental Railroad made the trip west fast and safe. Los Angeles became a modern city, and many of the men who lived through rough times grew rich. The Chinese 17 were the last to be lynched in Los Angeles. Many of those involved had interesting endings. In 1877, Ho Ying was hacked to death by an assassin bearing, quote, an old grudge. Somehow the author failed to note Hing's connection to the massacre only 6 years earlier. Just that it was an old grudge.
Yeah, sure.
Celis, one of the two defendants acquitted in the massacre case, died in a bizarre accident while chasing horse thieves in the San Fernando Valley. According to the account given by Guard, who was riding... Guard, the
Right.
policeman.
Yeah.
Who was
a guard,
riding
right.
in a buggy with Celis at the time. A rifle fell out of the wagon
Oh, this is good already.
and hit a spoke on one of the wheels.
Uh-huh.
And the rifle discharged,
Oh, okay. As one would do.
and a bullet struck Celis square in the chest.
Right. Yeah. No, you've heard it a million times. When a rifle gets in wheel spokes, it's just can be very dangerous.
Look, he's just a great cop.
That's fine.
And
Look, I know it's hard to believe you had to be there, but that's how it happened.
and
What do you think happened?
I trust the guys who
Guard.
were at the beginning of the LAPD.
They're
What's
good.
not to trust?
There's not
What's
there's
to
so
trust?
far no reason to not trust them besides just a couple mini massacres.
H.M. Mitchell went hunting with City Attorney William E. Dunn in the foothills beyond Pasadena.
Okay.
That's right where we are.
Yep.
Dunn mistook his friend for a deer and accidentally shot Mitchell. Twice. The old two accidental shots. I accidentally shot...
You can accidentally shoot once. Right?
Oh my God, sorry. Oh, double sorry.
What is with me today? Such a goof.
I can't believe I accidentally shot you in the head and the chest.
What am I doing? I just killed my friend.
Jesus.
Jesus. Twice.
Lastly, Guard, who at some point became a railroad detective, died in a fiery explosion.
I'm sure his friend just thought he was a pizza or something.
That's it.
Good. It's all very normal and good.
You like the LAPD so
Yeah.
far?
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep.
far?
Yeah. No, it's
Only
good.
gets better. It's just
No.
they just look. They started well.
Started big.
As we get further into the LAPD, you'll be able to know now that they started with the best of intentions and they were a wonderful group
Yes,
of people.
their heart was in the right place.
Clearly.
And then just a couple, like we said, just a couple little...
And then you hear this story, and then you think about how bad ISIS is, but were we that much better?
No,
than
no, and you can never say shit like that. Like you can never ask questions like that. But it's so true. It's like the difference between what's right and wrong is our perspective, which is always right,
right,
and that's it.
like the Pilgrims.
Yeah, exactly. Like exactly. So you can come, you can do whatever the fuck you want to anybody because we get it.
Right.
And then that's just an impossible, non-worldly way of thinking.
Yeah.
And then when people do it to combat it, you're like, what are you doing? We do. It's like nukes. We're like, nobody can have nukes. America doesn't want anywhere to have nukes. We have more nukes than fucking anybody.
Yeah, it's insane. Nukes that are rotting in the
Yeah,
ground.
just nukes we don't need, but
Yeah.
we're just like, we're very worried Iran will make a nuclear bomb. And it's like, you have 35.
Yeah. They're not going to do anything with a nuclear bomb because you would annihilate
You would
them.
just, I mean,
Do you know how nukes work?
yeah. So, I mean, that's our policy. Yeah. Anyway.
You can't have nukes because you're crazy.
Well, you guys have used them.
Yeah, but you're nuts.
Yeah, now we know that they're not to be used because we use them. It's also like when Obama just got China to sign the emissions thing. It's like for years the argument is just like
Yeah.
we do whatever the
why
fuck
should
we
we do
want.
it? 'Cause
Yeah,
China's
China
fucked up.
China won't do it, so fuck it. You're like, oh god, you fucking
China did it.
yeah. China did it.
So now what?
Oh, there'll be something else.
Yeah.
We're fucking everything up anyway.
Anyway, that was the great hanging. That's known as the Chinese Massacre of Los Angeles.
It's really a feel good story. And it's just good. It's good to hear that we're good people.
We are good people.
Yeah.
And I got to look at a crooked nose now.
That guy.
Yeah.
We keep that guy around. I don't care what he was doing.
Later, girl.
Bye, girl.